Thank you for joining me for another reading through the New Testament. We are in 1 Corinthians chapter 3, reading from the English Standard Version. But I, brothers, could not address you as spiritual people, but as people of the flesh, as infants in Christ. I fed you with milk, not solid food, for you were not ready for it. And even now you're not ready, for you are still of the flesh. For while there is jealousy and strife among you, are you not of the flesh and behaving only in a human way? For when one says, I follow Paul, and another, I follow Apollos, are you not being merely human? What then is Apollos? What is Paul? Servants through whom you believed, as the Lord assigned to each. I planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the growth. So neither he who plants nor he who waters is anything, but only God who gives the growth. He who plants and he who waters are one, and each will receive his wages according to his labor. For we are God's fellow workers, you are God's field, God's building. According to the grace of God given to me, like a skilled master builder, I laid a foundation, and someone else is building upon it. Let each one take care how he builds upon it. For no one can lay a foundation other than that which is laid, which is Jesus Christ. Now if anyone builds on the foundation with gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, straw, each one's work will become manifest, for the day will disclose it, because it will be revealed by fire, and the fire will test what sort of work each one has done. If the work that anyone has built on the foundation survives, he will receive a reward. If anyone's work is burned up, he will suffer loss, though he himself will be saved, but only as through fire. Do you not know that you are God's temple, and that God's Spirit dwells in you? If anyone destroys God's temple, God will destroy him, for God's temple is holy, and you are that temple. Let no one deceive himself. If anyone among you thinks that he is wise in this age, let him become a fool, that he may become wise. For the wisdom of this world is folly with God, for it is written, He catches the wise in their craftiness. And again, the Lord knows the thoughts of the wise, that they are futile. So let no one boast in men, whether Paul or Apollos or Cephas, for all things are yours, or the world or life or death or the present or the future, all are yours, and you are Christ's, and Christ is God's. So in chapter 3, he's still carrying on the theme that he started in chapter 1, that has Christ been divided? You say, I have Paul, I have Apollos. And even again here, he returns to that theme to recognize and reassert the truth that they're all but just servants, and God is the one who is giving the growth. He laid a foundation, Paul says, someone else builds upon it, and the only foundation that should ever be laid, he says, is Jesus Christ. But the point is that the result of what someone does, God will judge that person. But none of the people who lay anything upon the foundation are worthy of our loyalty. The only loyalty that we have belongs to God. And that's why he concludes with saying, everything in the world is yours. All of it is yours. But you are Christ's, and Christ is God's. So when you and I recognize our place in that, we need to realize we should never boast in what are things around us. I was baptized by, or I belong to this church. Any allegiances that we place in connection with men oftentimes just pull us away from God. So let that be your exhortation today. Belong to God, belong to Christ only, for that is the thing that matters. Join me again for another reading through the New Testament tomorrow, where we try to make your weekday strong with the Word of God.